Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you are a subscriber that's been here for a while, I know I haven't been here for a while. It's been quite a busy few months. I'm not even sure the last time I uploaded, but I just wanted to come and actually just go through an Instant Pot recipe. I just recently got this Instant Pot probably around Christmas time, and I've been loving it. And if you're like me and you need to kind of see the instructions as well as maybe read the ingredients and the directions, this is the video for you. Because I just wanted to show you guys what we're going to be doing and what we're making for dinner basically. So I'm going to link this website down below. It looks like it's from Julia Harrington Road, but it's Instant Pot Sesame Chicken that I wanted to try out for dinner tonight with some white rice and some broccoli. I've got some broccoli in the freezer to go ahead and steam up. But yeah, let's take a look here what we got. Okay, so the first thing we've got here is approximately a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast, and you just come up into kind of like bite-sized pieces, so kind of like that, maybe bigger if you prefer bigger pieces, maybe smaller if you prefer smaller, but that's about the size that we usually eat, I would say, when we're kind of dicing them up. So you get about a pound of that. We've got, so the recipe calls actually for cornstarch, but I don't have cornstarch and I have a ton of flour. So when I looked up actually online, it says that you can substitute basically 2 tablespoons of flour for every tablespoon of cornstarch. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. So there's 3, actually, sorry, there's 6. Basically it's 3 tablespoons of flour here, 3 tablespoons of flour here. Maybe it'll end up being too much, maybe it won't, I'm not sure. I did see somewhere, I thought. Let's take a look actually. Actually, yeah, it says take about 3 tablespoons of flour to replace 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And this calls for 2 tablespoons, so yeah, 6. And then it says it wants it divided, so 3 and 3. Next thing we've got here is some sesame oil. And I probably should have put the flash on. I actually wasn't thinking, but we're gonna go with it. So sesame oil here, it says 1 tablespoon and then 1 teaspoon sesame oil divided. So I just put it in one. I'm kind of running low on a little extra Tupperware. Oh, that was close. You know, to divide it into, but anyway, that's sesame oil. We've got in this one here a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. It's supposed to be low sodium soy sauce, but I try and add in a little bit of extra something that you'll see here in a second to kind of offset that saltiness. So that's the soy sauce. And then we've got here a 1.5 tablespoons of ketchup, and I just leave the spoon there so I can go ahead and make sure I get as much as I can from the container. And then we've got a 1/4 cup of honey. So I do try and put a little bit more honey to kind of offset the saltiness of, you know, a little bit of the ketchup and a little bit of the soy sauce. So that's that. And then it does call for a pinch of red pepper flakes, which we've got here. And then actually 2 tablespoons of water, which I need. And then some sesame seeds. But I'm thinking that's going to be done at the end. But actually, let me go ahead and get some water, and then we'll start the process. Okay, so I legit have like 2 tablespoons there. Now I use like an actual tablespoon, so I might add a little more water depending on how I feel about the way it's coming out and whatnot. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's see what is next. I'm not going to measure out the sesame seeds or the red pepper flakes because really I don't like too much of those 2 ingredients. I mean, a little bit here and there I think will be fine. But let's take a look at the instructions here. So it says, in a small bowl, combine 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with a pinch of salt and pepper. And then we're going to put the meat in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I put the one section of the flour, so that's about 3 tablespoons of flour, into the meat, and then threw in some salt, just some regular iodized salt and some pepper. And just so that way you know, I did rinse out the meat prior, to kind of mixing everything together, kind of get whatever they use. I don't know, whatever. I just cleaned it off and get it fresh. And then the next step is stating that at this point what we need to do is put the Instant Pot to saute. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Right here is the saute. So let's do that. And then what we're going to do is actually add a tablespoon, it says, of sesame oil. So I'm going to let that preheat for just a little bit. Actually, maybe I'll just put some oil in right now. This is about a tablespoon, so I'm just going to go ahead and eye it up just so I have some left in here. Yeah, so I'm going to leave about that much. I'm not sure if that'll be good, but we'll go ahead and that's what it looks like there. Okay, so we're just going to wait till that heats up. I do notice that, like, of course it'll like bubble up a little bit. So I think that'll be good. I'll probably use a plastic spoon to mix it around a little bit, or a wooden spoon, just so it's not all in one spot. Okay, so I hope it's not that loud for you, but here you see I did put the meat in, and I'm just kind of trying to move it around so it doesn't get completely stuck to the bottom, which is why I tried to put the oil all over. But basically at this point we're just gonna brown everything up. I'll see you here in a second with the next step once it's all ready to go. Alright, so at this point it's all browned. Oops, sorry, you can't see that. And so now what I'm going to do is turn it off. Just going to go ahead and hit cancel. And then it now says, let's see. So we're going to stir in the soy sauce, ketchup, red pepper flakes. And I'm going to try and use the soy sauce to try and pick up some of the, parts that are, oh, that wasn't very smart. Some of the parts that are like stuck at the bottom. Just so that way when I do put this to pressurize, it's not going to go ahead and burn. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have the ketchup and the soy sauce. I'm just trying to take a spatula and hit the bottom of it, but my spatula is not that strong, so I might just see if it'll... Oh, that scared me. So this, I was showing you earlier, it's a life hack to try and keep this in place, but except that when you, I don't know, when you're so aggressive, it just kind of doesn't. So anyway, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, it says to close it up now. I wanted to see about trying to get most of the bottom cleaned up. But we'll just see and hope that it doesn't yell burn. I know sometimes it does that if it has that, but sometimes maybe if there's not enough liquid. So anyway, let's do that. Let's hold this up here for a second. Oh, and then so it says at this point we've added the soy sauce, we add the ketchup, the pepper flakes. So we're going to place the lid on, which is right over here. I don't know, I kind of like the Instant Pot. Actually, no, I don't kind of. I do. A lot of the reason I like it is this. Just sounds so cool. I don't know. So you're going to set it to sealing. It's so this is venting here. You can see kind of like little smoke, and that's the sealing. So we're just going to... So I'm just going to go ahead and set it to the ceiling. That's venting, that's sealing, sorry if it's a little bit blurry. And then it says set to manual for 3 minutes to cook. So when you click manual, you do pressure cook. And then I'm going to put up here 3. And now we kind of just wait. Oh, sorry. All right, so now we're at this point, we're just going to allow it to pressurize. And I'll come back when it shows the minutes, because it'll take a little bit. I think a lot of times people think that maybe, you know, the Instant Pot's going to be quicker. And in some circumstances, I do believe that. But I think in most cases, it's quicker because you can set the timer on, let it wait the 3 minutes or whatever, and then release the pressure however you're supposed to release it depending on the recipe. But while that's coming up to pressure, and while it's pressurizing itself and cooking, you can then go do other things like the dishes or laundry or whatever. So we will be back in a second. But what I thought I would do is thought I'd read ahead, and so this one section was just showing, like, you know, to put it set to manual, yada yada, and then the next one it says so you're going to quick release, which we'll look at that in a second. Well, not in a second, but when it's ready. And then what we could do is, it says here, in a small bowl. Obviously, you can't really see it unless I go closer. But basically, in a small bowl, you're going to whisk together the remaining 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, which, again, because I don't have cornstarch and we have flour, we're doing 3 tablespoons of flour and then some water. So we got that here. And it says we're looking to try and make a slurry. So I'd imagine some kind of, you know, here's a whisk. Let's see what we got. I'm not getting what they would consider a slurry. I looked it up because I wasn't sure what the consistency should be, which I know with sesame chicken you should want to kind of have like a smooth, syrupy type of mixture. And that's definitely not what I'm getting. So I'm going to go ahead and add more water and then mix it, because then when you're done with that, you actually put it back in the Instant Pot with the chicken. Like, it's, you know, you're going to want it to kind of thicken up, but it's more like a sauce. So let's try and add some water and see what we got. Can you hear it wanting to go? It's pressurizing. Let's stand back a little bit. And basically that red little dot is going to end up popping up when it's ready to go. But sometimes, I don't know. One time before it didn't all the way pressurize, but I don't know if it's because I didn't have the sealing ring in. Oh, there we go. And now in a second we should be able to see this turn to 3 minutes any day now. I guess it needs to just make sure that it's still popped. Anyway, let's go back to this. So I reread the definition for slurry, and it was kind of saying like cement type of feel. It says a semi-liquid mixture, typically of the fine particles of, well, it says manure, cement or coal suspended in water. Maybe this is like cement. You know, it's like a paste kind of thing. I might actually just add a little bit more water. I mean, to be quite honest, when it comes to, I feel like starch or, you know, flour and water, I mean, you add as you feel you need. You know, you can add more flour, you can add more water, you know, so on. Okay, so we can see that it has 3 minutes now. So that's going to count 3 minutes. And basically when I come back to you, it says that after the 3 minutes, we're going to have to go ahead and, what does it say? What does it say? Quick release, which is a quick release. So we'll do that when it's done. Okay, so I think this is the consistency we want, because I read the definition again, and it says semi-liquid, semi-liquid. It's kind of like a clay, and I'd say this is kind of like a clay. Basically, I mean, it's just going to go in to the Instant Pot 1 that's ready. It's already been going for a minute, so you just need it for actually 1 more minute, and then we'll quick release. So we're going to do that. See you in a minute. Quick release. I wanted to touch base a little bit on that. Oh, so I guess we're done. But I wanted to say that some people always worry about hearing some of the steam or hearing that I always figure as long as the red knob, at least on mine, as long as it's popped up, it's always going to be cooking. It's always pressurizing. So, you know, I never worry about that. I'm you know, part of a Facebook group, and sometimes they worry about sometimes hearing it or seeing it. But yeah, honestly, as long as that red is still popped up, you still got pressure, you're cooking like you should be. So let's go ahead and quick release. And with this, what I like to do normally is grab like a little spatula or something. Okay, I'm just grabbing a little baster thing so I don't have to be so close. And basically quick release is just this. Ooh, like that. I don't know if you can see the steam. Probably right there where it's coming up. So it says when the most of the pressure is released, so I'm going to open the lid, and basically just as a safety thing, you never want to open it until this red is completely popped down. On my version, it goes above the surface here. On some versions, with it being popped up, it's going to be the same level of, you know, the part right here. It doesn't go above it. But in any case, it does look like it's about 3 minutes, roughly. It's a quick release. You could probably hear it. Maybe you can't hear me. I don't know. I apologize. But yeah, we're just waiting for that. I don't know why sometimes a quick release is not so quick. About 4 minutes. It's gonna pop, it's gonna pop. I mean, go down. There we go. So now we're ready to open. Here's this nice sound. I don't know why, but I like that. I'm not going to put the extra water from the lid in there because I don't want it to be so watery, but I'm just going to put the lid down. And again, just be careful not to touch the actual part of the metal. So the next step is, this is when it's done, you do the quick release, which we did. When most of the steam is released, remove the lid, add the remaining 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. I think that's about a teaspoon. Just whatever is left anyway. So we got that. And then we got the honey that we need to add in. Okay, so just some things. I mentioned, I think earlier, that I put a little bit more honey in. I did put a little bit more, number one, for 2 reasons. Number one, to kind of offset the saltiness of the soy sauce because I didn't have low sodium soy sauce, but also because when I put it in a container like this, I'm not able to get all of it out. So I do that so that way I have, you know, kind of a little bit there. So now that we've added that in there, sesame oil is in there, and so is the honey. It says stir to combine, which we did, and it's looking good already. I mentioned to you I was worried about the bottom, but really with it steaming, it's not an issue. It's basically coming off, as you can probably see right there. So then now at this point, what we do is we add in our slurry, which is kind of like this paste thing. So that's what I'm going to do, and be back in a second. Oh, and the key factor, I forgot, it's not going to just thicken up. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to hit cancel because we don't want it to be warm anymore. We're going to go ahead and hit saute and just let that sit there for a second. Take the spatula that we've got, and then we're going to go ahead and mix it around now to kind of thicken up the sauce. Basically it says to desired consistency. It says about 2 minutes, so let's see what we've got. And it does look like it's actually thickening up as well, like already actually. I hope it thickens up a bit more, because I find, and I feel like sesame chicken's kind of like General Tso's chicken, or just like any of, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but any other type of chicken that has that thicker sauce that kind of sticks to the chicken, you know. So we shall see. So I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. I think it did get thicker a little bit, and I think it has been about 2 minutes or so. Wasn't really timing it, but at this point what I'm going to do is just turn off saute, keep it on keep warm, so that way we can just serve right from the pot for dinner. And then, like I mentioned, I think you just have it with some white rice and some steamed broccoli, which I will take a picture and show at the end of this video. So that's about that. I hope that you enjoyed watching. It's just kind of like a homey type of recipe, well, a takeout recipe at home, but also just a homey feel to the video, just kind of as I'm going. Yeah, so that's done. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to try and wrap this up right now. It was a bit longer than I had anticipated, so I do apologize for that. So let's just keep warm, and then just cover the lid, or cover it with the lid. So I wanted to hop on back here real quick because I realized that I hadn't actually closed out the video. I just kind of said that I was going to put the lid on the chicken and let it stay warm. So I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and just know that I do want to come back as far as, you know, consistent. I want to be able to post not just makeup, but maybe instant pot recipes, maybe regular recipes, you know, maybe a car ride into work. I've got a nice little stand that sets up for the phone. There's like a magnet that hooks up, and it's one of those things where maybe we'll chat on the way to work or on the way home when it gets lighter. Yeah, this is me, my life, and I want my channel to be able to reflect that, as far as just give you all sorts of content, all sorts of different things to watch. If there's something that you want to see from me, or my thoughts on, or whatever the case is, let me know. I've kind of gotten into faux calligraphy, or lettering, I guess, if that's what you call it. Also, I don't know, I kind of get intrigued by the whole ASMR. Maybe I want to do that, maybe I don't. I don't know. So there's a bunch of stuff that I feel like I want to try, maybe do, you know, especially like, you know, if I'm here just chilling. Today was my day off, you know, and I, you know, got everything else done. Like, what is, you know, what's there to do? What can I film? What can I just share? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you will subscribe. I think I said that already. Have a great day. Have a great morning, whatever time it is. And we'll see you in the next video.